Hello everyone, and welcome to Ukraine Will Win. Today we're taking a deep dive into the compelling evidence that points towards a Ukrainian victory. It's a topic filled with hope, resilience, and strategic brilliance. So let's get right into it. First, let's talk about the initial phase of the conflict. Many analysts predicted a swift Russian victory, but Ukraine defied all expectations. The defense of Kyiv was a masterclass in modern warfare, combining urban defense tactics, agile unit movements, and incredible civilian resistance. The world watched in awe as Ukrainian forces not only held the line, but pushed back a much larger, invading force from the capital. This wasn't just a successful defense, it was a monumental strategic failure for the Kremlin, and a huge morale boost for Ukraine and its allies. It proved that the Ukrainian spirit was unbreakable, and their military was far more capable than anyone had anticipated. Next, we have to look at the Kharkiv counteroffensive. This was a textbook example of brilliant military planning and execution. Ukrainian forces, using deception and speed, broke through Russian lines and liberated thousands of square kilometers of territory in a matter of days. Cities like Izium and Kupiansk were freed, and the strategic victory was undeniable. This operation demonstrated Ukraine's ability to not just defend, but to launch large-scale, successful offensive operations. It showed the world that Ukraine could dictate the tempo of the war and reclaim its sovereign land. The sheer speed and success of the Kharkiv offensive sent shockwaves through the Russian military command and showcased the high level of training and motivation of Ukrainian soldiers. Another crucial piece of evidence is the liberation of Kherson. This was the only regional capital captured by Russia since the start of the full-scale invasion, and its recapture was a massive political and military victory for Ukraine. The operation was slow, methodical, and deliberate. Ukrainian forces systematically targeted Russian supply lines, command posts, and logistical hubs, making it impossible for the Russian garrison on the west bank of the Dnipro River to sustain itself. The eventual withdrawal of Russian forces was a humiliating retreat. Securing Kherson not only liberated its people, but also provided a strategic advantage, putting Ukrainian artillery in range of new targets and securing the southern coastline. Let's not forget the battle at sea. The sinking of the Moskva, the flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, was a symbolic and strategic masterstroke. It was a stunning blow to Russian naval power and prestige. This event, achieved with Ukrainian-made Neptune missiles, demonstrated Ukraine's ingenuity and its ability to challenge Russian dominance in the Black Sea. Since then, Ukraine has continued to effectively target the Black Sea Fleet with naval drones and long-range missiles, forcing the fleet to relocate many of its vessels away from Crimea. Ukraine, a country with a relatively small traditional navy, has managed to create a maritime exclusion zone for a major naval power. This is unprecedented in modern warfare. Another key factor is the unwavering international support for Ukraine. The coalition of nations providing military, financial, and humanitarian aid is historic. Advanced Western weaponry, such as HIMARS, Patriot air defense systems, and long-range cruise missiles, has been a game-changer on the battlefield. They have allowed Ukraine to strike high-value targets deep behind enemy lines, disrupt logistics, and defend its cities from aerial attacks. This support isn't just about hardware. It's about the comprehensive training Ukrainian soldiers are receiving from NATO countries, bringing their skills and tactics to the highest modern standards. This sustained international partnership is a critical pillar of Ukraine's continued success and its path to victory. We must also talk about the resilience and unity of the Ukrainian people. From the very beginning, the entire nation has mobilized. Civilians have formed volunteer battalions, raised funds for drones, and provided essential support to the front lines. This national unity is a powerful weapon that cannot be quantified in military terms. The determination to defend their freedom, their culture, and their right to exist is the fuel that powers the Ukrainian war effort. Despite constant attacks on civilian infrastructure and immense hardship, the Ukrainian spirit has not been broken. In fact, it has only grown stronger. This incredible societal cohesion is a foundation upon which all military successes are built. Let's also consider the state of the Russian military. The initial invasion exposed massive weaknesses in logistics, command and control, and troop morale. They have suffered staggering losses in both personnel and equipment. The reliance on poorly trained conscripts and outdated tactics has led to repeated failures on the battlefield. While they still possess a large military, its effectiveness has been severely degraded. The economic sanctions imposed by the international community are also taking a toll, limiting Russia's ability to produce and replace advanced weaponry. The contrast between the highly motivated, well-equipped and adaptable Ukrainian army and the struggling Russian forces becomes clearer with each passing month. Furthermore, Ukraine's innovation on the battlefield is a story in itself. They have become world leaders in the use of drones for reconnaissance, artillery spotting, and direct attacks. They have effectively combined off-the-shelf technology with military hardware to create highly effective and low-cost solutions. This MacGyver approach to warfare, born out of necessity, has given them a significant asymmetric advantage. Their agility in adopting new technologies and tactics stands in stark contrast to the rigid, top-down structure of the Russian military. This technological and tactical creativity is a key indicator of a force that is destined to win a 21st century war. Finally, the goal is clear and just. Ukraine is fighting a defensive war for its very survival and the liberation of its internationally recognized territory. The moral high ground is firmly on their side. For Russia, the objectives have been vague, shifting, and ultimately unachievable. This clarity of purpose gives Ukrainian soldiers and civilians a powerful psychological advantage. They know exactly what they're fighting for. Their homes, their families, and their future as a free and sovereign nation in Europe. This moral clarity resonates across the globe and is a key reason why international support remains so strong. In conclusion, when you look at the evidence, from the defense of Kyiv to the liberation of Kharkiv and Kherson, the crippling of the Black Sea Fleet, the unprecedented international support, the unbreakable spirit of the people, and the innovative tactics on the battlefield, the trajectory points clearly in one direction. The path is difficult and the cost is immense, but the evidence for Ukraine's eventual success is compelling and grows stronger every day. Ukraine is fighting not just for itself, but for the principles of freedom and international law that matter to us all. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please like this video, subscribe to Ukraine Will Win, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future updates. Your support helps us continue to bring you the truth. Stay strong, and Slava Ukraini,